Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to show you in this video how to fix the internal storage on your Fish v-evo unit. It's a super technical video, so if you're looking for adventure, stay tuned and we'll do more adventure videos. Okay, so when I got this v-evo unit, it had the internal storage on it was inoperable, and so I was going to send it back, and then I procrastinated too long, and the time frame to send it back ran out. But anyway, right here I'm showing you that the internal storage is indeed not working. So I'll go ahead and shut the unit down. And these guys were super helpful. I talked back and forth with them. I think this one was from a company called Dominion Drones. And they said a whole run of these units were like this. But anyway, you disconnect the unit. We'll go ahead and flip it over. And we got all these screws right here on the bottom. They're super visible. They didn't hide any or make it hard to find. So I'll get the right size of Allen wrench. And let's just get all those screws removed. This bottom cover comes off really easy. It kind of friction fits a little bit around the motors, but with minimal force you can pop that right off of there like so. And then 2 screws will disconnect this connector for the robotic arm. Then you got 4 screws in the front. 2 of them are really hard to see because you got to reach way down in the aluminum casing there to get to them. It took me a minute to find that out, but once I found them it came off fairly easy. Then you got 4 screws on the front that holds the sealed casing together. So once you get those 4 screws out, like so, then the whole front of this thing pops off. I tried to use these plastic pry tools that I used to fix drones with, and they're too weak, so I had to use the old Leatherman. Once you get that off of there, you got this connector, it just pops right off. Gotta be careful not to stress the wires. And then 4 screws holds the camera unit in place. And they've got them different spacing top and bottom, so you can't get it upside down. That's kind of handy. Flip that over, and oh my gosh, all they got in there is an SD card slot, which is great because it makes it extremely easy to work on. And it was a little bit glued in there. I tried to make it so that it was secure, but it came right out pretty easy. There's a SanDisk 64 gig in there, which I just happen to have an identical SD card sitting around, so I'll grab that out, pop that thing in there. Yeah, then we just go ahead and connect that thing right back up again. Gonna make sure that the connector is going the right direction. Don't want to connect it up without, backwards. That would be bad. All right, so now, rather than putting it all together and finding out it doesn't work, I'm just gonna go ahead and reconnect the tether to the remote. And let's give this thing a test and see if this new SD card is any better than the old one. I just gotta source all of my equipment here, plug it in. Connect the drone to the back there. Alrighty then, let's connect it to the app. There we go. And it looks like it's working. Sweet. Love that. Gonna take some video, a couple pictures. Yeah, that's the stuff. Okay, now I'm just gonna pull this new SD card out. We'll try putting in the old one. See if we can make the old one work. Maybe it just needed to be reset or something. But we'll give that a shot. Spoiler alert, the old card is fried. It does not want to work at all. So guess we'll just have to put the other one back in and get this show on the road. Okay, well, we'll take that one out, put the new one back in, verify that it's still working. And it doesn't really, oh, it did too. Look at that. Works. We'll hit record. Sure enough, it's doing what it's supposed to. Perfect. So pretty much we're just going to reverse the process. We'll turn off the unit so we're not wasting battery. Make sure we get the orientation of our camera unit correct. Get the 4 bolts back in, or screws I should say. Then we'll go ahead and plug it back in again. Make sure it's secure. Pop the front on, 4 screws, put the 4 screws back in. That's a very redundant part of the video, but you know, gotta burn some minutes somehow. And we're not quite ready for that yet. Gotta put the front on. Get the 4 screws back in there. Those screws are a pain in the butt. Next time I do this, I'm gonna modify it so I can just pull some pins, pop the front off, and not have to take that bottom cover off at all. I'll probably do a video on that because I think it would be a much better deal. Then we could just pull that SD card out real easy. Yeah, so getting these screws back in is kind of a pain in the butt because they're not exactly magnetic. I believe they're stainless screws. That way you can swim this thing in the ocean and not have it corrode on you. But anyway, just get all the rest of the bolts back in. Super easy to do. Just gotta make sure everything snaps in properly. The fitment's right. And then you're good to go. I gotta say though, there's a couple of critiques that I would love to give these guys for their drones. And one is the remote is not waterproof. Like, my daughter accidentally dropped the remote in the lake and it just about fried itself. I did what I used to do back in the aerial drone days and use alcohol to remove the water, and it melted the paint off of a bunch of the buttons and made the buttons stick. So I'll be posting another video on how to fix that. But it was real dicey there for a bit to try to make that remote work. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, connect back to it, make sure that it's still working. Once we got it together, I'll go ahead and do those updates real quick, and then we'll take this thing out for a test, eh?